1, 2. This is The Social Prophet, and I'm back at it. But this time, not with the rant. The Prophet finally got his own podcast, his own solo podcast. You know, I've been talking about it, so I did it. And I can't promise anything. I don't know how much it's gonna, how often I'm gonna post. Okay, and just to give you a little backstory about what I want this to be, I actually did a little video about it, and I was just rambling. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I like to talk about more shit than just politics, cancel culture, and like racism. Okay, and I do like talking about that shit, but I found myself forcing it. You know, I'm like, that's what they want to talk about, so I'm gonna force it. So I don't want to force stuff. Like, I like talking about rap. I like talking about sports. I like talking about everything, you know? So this podcast is going to be about everything, okay? Sometimes I'm going to dive into, 90s sports, and we're going to go over the stats and, top 10 list, and we're going to do that with music. And then if I'm annoyed about cancel culture, I'll talk about that, right? So, we're going to keep it simple. I'm just going to be myself. I'm just going to talk about what, like, a lot of you watching this right now, like, we text about it all the time. And I'm not going to freestyle shit, all of it. Like, I wrote shit down. And I'm going to get into, like, this first episode about what we're going to talk about. Now, I posted something about, tell me what you want me to rant about. This is when I was kind of like, oh, man, like, I don't even know what to talk about anymore. And a couple people talked about rap and Tupac. Somebody said, yo, what are your top 10 Tupac songs? Which I'm going to get to at the end of this podcast, so stay tuned. Okay. And then somebody else, this is where this podcast led to, said, where would hip-hop be if Biggie and Tupac never died? And I replied, I think rap would be the same exact way as it is right now, right? No different. I think music evolves, and it's always about the young. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we're 90s babies and we love Tupac and we love Biggie, and these kids just don't give a fuck, you know? Now, on a side note, if you ever are bored and you want to YouTube some shit, YouTube, like, Notorious Thugs review, or, like Tupac All Eyes on Me review. There's, like, a lot of young kids, like 14 or 12 to 20, who are digging in the crates, and they're listening to, like, Biggie for the first time, they're listening to Tupac the first time, and it's, like, so fun to watch them, because, like, the one dude was listening to Notorious Thugs, and when he got on, he's like, man, I don't even really fuck with Biggie and Bone, that's not really my style, and he put on Notorious Thugs, and dude, he was like, it was like the first time we heard it, so it was cool to see it. So, there are kids who appreciate it, but at the end of the day, these old guys aren't going to push the music forward. They're waiting for the young guys for the new style, Now, he told me he disagreed, And basically, I wanted to get into it a little bit more. And besides the whole fact that music is going to evolve with or without them, and that I felt like another element to, like, how hip-hop got to where it is today is the South, Now, again, we always look back at history and just see Biggie and Pac, and, like, they were just, like, ruling it, and, like, they're the top MCs, and there was no other competition. That's not really true, because at the around the same time, Atlanta was, like, on their way up a little bit, like the famous Outkast Source thing, when he was like, the South got something to say. So they were right there. They were about to pop, and they were working together, and they had, like, a little community, and like the Dungeon family and all that. They were ready to go. Now, how I'm gonna sell this to you about how I don't think Biggie and Pac, if they still were alive, would have changed hip hop, where they weren't even as popular as you guys think. Okay, I'm gonna explain that. Now, Tupac was super popular, okay? And he was like the top rapper. Biggie was like a popular rapper, okay? But Death Row was outselling everybody. So Pac, I'll give you, was the top artist, all right? But Biggie, his sales don't really tell the story of, like, how popular he was to, like, how people say, So just for you, I dug up some numbers because, like I said, that's what we're gonna do in this podcast. We're gonna talk about stats. We're gonna talk about album sales, and with sports, we're gonna talk about like how many yards they got and who would be better, Joe Montana. We're gonna do all that fun shit that I always argue with people online. We're gonna do it here. So I'm just gonna stop telling you my opinion about this and just show you what I'm talking about because I'm not doing it justice. All right, now let's start. See, my problem is that I'll get to that Tupac and Biggie, after they died, is when they really turned into legend. You know what I'm saying? Tupac was popular, Biggie was popular, but they were like on their way to GOATs, but they weren't like legends. You know what I'm saying? And again, I know they were super popular, okay, but let me show you. Calm down. Damn. Let me